what is up? My name is Kat. I'm a registered dietitian and I'm about to show you how I cut carbs. So keep watching. All right, guys. Sorry, that was really cheesy, but it's true. I wanted to talk about carbohydrates today because I feel like they are so vilified. They are identified as the carbohydrate that everybody just needs to cut out in order to lose weight and to feel better, and that's not necessarily the case. So I wanted to talk about 5 reasons why you don't need to fear carbohydrates in your diet. But before we begin that, I do want to say there are a lot of people who really thrive on a much lower carbohydrate intake than I consume, and that is okay. Some people really thrive on that with certain conditions, and it can be really beneficial for those people. Another thing that I wanted to make clear is that not all carbohydrates are made equal. Yes, there are certain foods that contain really high amounts of certain carbohydrates, particularly refined, and have a lot of other ingredients that aren't so helpful to the body, that don't serve the body well. A lot of them include a lot of unhealthy fats, inflammatory fats as well, which is another topic for another video. Carbohydrates do get broken down into glucose primarily, but the process in between when you consume it and when it is broken down into glucose really does impact your satiety, hunger cues, hormone levels, and your blood glucose levels. So it's not all about just getting to the end digestion part. And I think a lot of times that's kind of missed, to where some people will say, you know, a carbohydrate is a carbohydrate. Like, yes, there is truth to that, but how it gets through that digestion really has an impact on your body and how you feel. As I mentioned before, I'm just gonna talk about 5 reasons why you don't need to fear carbohydrates. With that, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the number 1 reason why you don't need to fear carbohydrates is that it is your brain's first source of energy. Sometimes I'm working with clients, I feel like they can't really focus on their work and they just really wanna get better mental performance. I even saw this when I was a student back in the day. If I didn't consume enough food, especially carbohydrates, then I wouldn't be able to do as much studying work. And so moving around carbohydrates, being more intentional with the choices and the types that they're coming from, that can really help with that mental performance piece. All right, and number 2 falls right into line with that, and that is the muscle fibers using glucose as its fuel source. So we have glucose in our body stored as glycogen in our liver and in our muscles, and whenever your muscles are doing that physical activity, it can pull from the glycogen stores in order to use that for energy and for that movement. Wait, number 3 is because of the fiber found in great amounts in healthy sources of carbohydrates. And fiber is so helpful for feeling full and satisfied and really helps you poop. So that's really good, but it also helps you balance those blood glucose levels. So if you have X amount of carbohydrates of something that has a lot of fiber in it versus X amount of carbohydrates, the same amount without any fiber, if you eat the one without the fiber, your blood sugar level is gonna shoot up quicker and steeper and drop down more so than if you have that carbohydrate with that fiber to help keep that blood sugar level balanced. And it's even better balanced when you pair that together with a protein or a healthy fat. And number 4 goes right in line with that fiber, and that is it supports a healthy gut microflora. So you've probably heard of the term probiotics or even microbiome. Those are the little guys in our digestive tract that really helps keep us regular, so we have that good poop schedule. Probiotics need to be fed. They're alive, and so they need to be fed just like we need to be fed, and they get fed on what is called probiotics, which essentially is fiber that comes from healthy carbohydrates. While we aren't able to break down all the fibers in our diet, they are able to break those down by fermenting them. The last one that I wanted to mention is that it helps with a good mood. So there is research on the connection between carbohydrates and its effect on serotonin, which is a happy hormone. Again, not all carbohydrates are created equal, and if somebody were to choose a less healthy kind of carbohydrate, they might have those like feel good mood feelings going on, and then it would just drop back down. That's what I see a lot of times happening. And so making sure that you get that from healthy sources of carbohydrates, again, hopefully paired with protein or healthy fat, is really helpful. So as we kind of wrap this up, it's important to look at food as whole. And remember again that not all carbohydrates are created equal. Some of them are gonna fill you up more, they're gonna give you more stable energy and that feeling of being satisfied between meals and after you start eating the meal. And ultimately to show up. I was talking to one of my clients a couple weeks ago, and she was telling me how something that I said really resonated with her. And it was something that I brought up because she originally said it herself, was that whenever she eats well, whenever she is intentional and mindful with what she is putting on her plate and what she is putting in her body, she finds that she really shows up in a more authentic place. She shows up, she is more present, and she's able to be more of herself and with a better mood ultimately. And I thought that was really cool because it's not to say that if you eat something that's not healthy that you're a bad person or anything, but it just goes to show how if you do put that intention and you are eating well and putting those really good foods in your body, you're gonna be a good person because of the effects that it has on your satiety, on your hunger, on your hormones, and you're gonna show up as more authentically you, which is a great thing. So that's all I have for you today. If you haven't ever seen any of my videos, my name is Kat. I am a registered dietitian, and I upload weekly videos on intentional and mindful eating, as well as sharing some of my minimalistic approaches to nutrition and nutrition coaching. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit subscribe and click that bell icon so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. So I will see you guys next week. All right, bye guys.